Hey, Internet. Eric here. Okay. You might be a little confused as to the title of the movie I'm going to discuss today. But bear with me. I will give a little bit of a backstory before I get into the film. And I'm also still kind of in the schlocky, what the fuck, what type of movie, where did this come from type of mood, thanks to Patrick and Sharks and Schlock. Here we go. For some reason, I'll say why. Today I'm discussing, that's right, Disney's Summer of the Monkeys. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. Um, Came out in 1998. The basic plot of this is we're following a young boy named Jay. It's the early 1900s, a horse and buggy type of thing. There's, cars are new. We're following a young boy named Jay, and he lives on a farm with his parents and his younger sister. And there is a train crash, and on that train is a group of monkeys. They're part of a I don't know, traveling circus, traveling sideshow, what have you. Um, and they get out, and the owner puts out a reward for however much money. Please return the monkeys to me, type of thing. And Jay believes that he can find the monkeys because he knows where they are. He can find the monkeys, return them rightfully to their owner, and use that money to buy a horse. And there's some interesting things. Wilford Brimley plays his grandpa. Yeah, a little bit of backstory on why the fuck I'm talking about Disney's Summer of the Monkeys on this channel. I've mentioned the Yesterday's podcast and the importance of seeing Ernest. Uh, that podcast as well on this channel, on so many social media outlets I have, and here's why. Um, Finding the importance of seeing Ernest podcast led me to the Yesterday's podcast, and I've actually had the host Derek J. Hoover on my channel. He was like my second ever interview, and a friendship has, in my opinion, he might deny it. A friendship has been born in and one of the reasons why I kind of attached myself to Derek. He does it with his buddies Dustin. Don't call him Dusty, the powder keg, and Jason, who I finally learned his name after like a handful of episodes, but I lovingly gave him the nickname Other Guy, and I was still going to call him that. They had this Ernest podcast they did once a month, and it was an adult themed or adult oriented podcast about the Ernest films. There was drinking involved, foul language, uh, tangents up the ass, and it was a lot of fun. And then eventually they finished all the Ernest movies and they moved to a second Ernest podcast. And now they are on Yesterdays, which is hosted by Derek. And it's a retro podcast. And Some of the Monkeys is like a running theme. And the reason why uh, I kind of became more attached to Derek than the other guys is because he was like the wild card to me. He is that scene from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where Charlie yells "wild card," after cutting the brakes, yells "yeehaw," jumps out of the back of the van. That's Derek to me. And they were discussing one of the Ernest movies, or maybe one of the TV shows, or something like that. And they were talking about Dustin's wide collection of movies. Dustin is a physical media guy, and that's why I like Dustin a lot. And just out of the blue, Derek was kind of giving him shit for some of the stupid things he had on video, and just he interrupts the podcast and he says, he says, why the fuck do you have Summer of the Monkeys? And it's now an ongoing joke, an ongoing bit, that has now gone to Yesterday's, and it's now a lot of times, they'll just cut in the trailer of Summer of the Monkeys. Derek or Dustin will say, "It was the summer they'd never forget." The part of the trailer. I think you found the monkeys. Lots of stuff like that. And I said it's about time because I've heard about this fucking movie for, oh God, I've followed the podcast. I followed these three guys at least since the initial importance of seeing Ernest podcast was there. Was live, I guess you would say, making it new episodes. And now they're on their third fucking podcast together. And it's about time to sit down and talk about this. I do not know if Derek or Jason has ever seen this. I'm pretty sure Dustin has because he owns the fucking thing. Anyways, first off, I was surprised that I actually enjoyed this film. Um, Take it for granted, it is a Disney film, but the kid who plays Jay, I think he does a really good job, and I tend to fucking hate kid actors. You know, Jake Lloyd, sorry, I know you didn't have the best material in Phantom Menace, but you fucking sucked. I like him a lot. He's got a good charisma and a good chemistry with every single actor that is on screen with him. I like him a lot. I like the little girl who plays his sister. She is not afraid to give him shit, but she proves that she also loves her brother. They have a good connection. The actors who play his parents are good. They have their own struggles. Uh, and I like the way they play off each other. Wilford Brimley as the wise grandpa, I guess you would say. It's Wilford Brimley. He's always great. I know a lot of people know him as the diabetes man. I know him from The Thing, that one shitty Ewok movie, Cocoon. You know, he's really good in this. He's in the movie maybe, I don't know, chopped up 10 minutes, 15 max, but he's really good. I like some scenes that he has with the Jay character, you know, trying to get him to grow up, trying to get him to be his own man, you know, branch out, talk to girls, stuff like that. He's a really good character. Um, the other characters worth of merit. First off, we have the crazy drunk guy who lives in the woods. He is, you know, like I said, he's a crazy drunk. He literally, I don't remember his name, but he's literally the crazy guy drunk guy who lives in the woods. He has his own still and stuff like that. Um, I lost my shit when I found out who this actor is because his voice sounded so familiar. He's already got those evil, I'm gonna, you know, cut your throat in your sleep type of eyes. And they're hiding his face with a long ass beard. He's always got a shotgun in his hand. He's got a big fucking, you know, hillbilly hat. When I did my research, which is Wikipedia and IMDb, this actor is the guy who voiced Sabretooth from the 1990s X-Men cartoon. And if the fucker wasn't scary enough, you know, pulling guns on kids and things like that, now that I have this connection, the voice really hits home. And he's a scary motherfucker, but I really liked him, and he fit, you know, in the role. Then we have the bullies. There are three bullies that are always picking on Jay, and Jesus fucking Christ, these kids are sadistic. They're always picking on Jay. He gets into fights. They beat him up. You know, like what you know usually happens in these type of movies where the kid is a wimp and has to grow and become a man. These kids start off as a stereotypical asshole bullies, but they get sadistic when they find out about the monkeys and they want to catch them. Um, I don't remember. Okay, Jay sets a trap, and it's a bear trap, but he puts towels around the little edges. You know what I mean? So it doesn't, you know, it catches, I guess you'd say, the monkeys, but it won't like maim them. There's a scene towards the end of the film where the bullies are beating up Jay, and I don't know if it's Jay's dog, or I'm just gonna call him, you know, Old Man Sabretooth. If it's his dog, the dog tries to save Jay, you know, attack the bullies, and these motherfuckers, they literally take the bear trap and they throw it on the dog, and it clamps on the poor thing. Like, these are sadistic, twisted assholes. So they do what they need to do, and they're successful at being scary villains. But we'll get to them, you know, more so towards the end of this film. The monkeys, they're chimps. They're fine. They're dressed in people clothes. Who doesn't love chimps dressed in people clothes? They have their scenes of creating mischief, you know, just like gremlins, like, you know, critters. You know, every time, you know, the ghoulies fucking did it. Every type of movie that how would I say it, focuses on a group of small creatures, this time being chimps, has that, you know, moment where they're in a house or a bar or whatever, and they create chaos. They do this here. They're getting into the kitchen. They're destroying the bed. It's a fun, playful scene, and I like it. The pacing of this is good. I'm never bored. Again, likable characters, likable performances, But the main problems here is it's called Summer of the Monkeys, and there really isn't a lot of monkeys in this film. We get the very beginning where they're in the train, and then the train crash, they disappear, they're in the woods, and we're focusing on Jake and his problems dealing with his sister. She has I don't know if she was born with it, but her leg is, I don't know if it's deformed, but she wears a leg brace. So he is not just, older brother, protector, he also is babysitter. Um, I will say, like I said, I like their chemistry. That you could tell that they really love each other. There's a scene where he sneaks out, she follows him, and she's like falling off a cliff. He's got to save her, type of thing. You believe that. You believe the love. You believe the danger. Um, where was I going? Oh, back to the monkeys. There isn't that many monkeys. They had their scene of chaos. You have that one scene where Jay finds them at Old Man Sabretooth's. They kind of, they're throwing stuff. They're throwing rocks at him, causing trouble. And no more monkeys. Scene of chaos, and then no more monkeys. This movie is probably an hour 30, hour 40 minutes. Yeah, maybe 15 minutes of monkeys. Yeah, I don't really get it. So, another thing is, you have this little bit of a character arc with Old Man Sabretooth. This drunken asshole, get off my lawn type of character. You learn this backstory about him, that he came from money, and I don't remember because, wise grandpa diabetes is telling Jay, he came from money, something tragic happened, and now he lives like a fucking hermit. So you learn this backstory, you're making him sympathetic, he saves Jay from the bullies, he literally pulls a fucking gun on the kids, and then we have a bad storm, and he dies. He's fucking killed in the storm. That's it. So all this build up, hey, this is going to be a cool character. I'm thinking maybe he rejoins society, shaves his beard, looks like presentable, gets a fucking job at the library or something like that. Goes nowhere because he fucking dies. There's a scene where Jay is falling, or he has a crush on the girl at the library, starting to flirt with her. Well, not necessarily flirt, but comfortable talking to her. The librarian says, "Yeah, come back," because he's like, "Is she here a lot?" "Yeah, maybe I'll come back." Goes nowhere. That's it. One scene. That's it. Again, the bullies. They're so fucking sadistic. They do that to the dog. Old Man Sabretooth scares them off, and then that's it. They don't really get their comeuppance. Even the fucking never-ending story. Those bullies got traced by Falcor, and they were thrown. They dived away, or they dived out of danger into the fucking dumpster. So there's a lot of missed opportunities. And then, the monkeys are sent back to the guy who owns them. He gives Jay the money. He gets his horse, rides away into the sunset to some voiceover of him as an adult. But those missed opportunities and what the fuck, why are we even getting to learn this stuff about Old Man Sabretooth moments notwithstanding, this movie had great acting, fun, whimsical music. When we saw the monkeys do their monkey thing, it was fun. Old Man Sabretooth is scary as fuck. I guess you'd say the storm scene was pretty good for what it was. So overall, I don't know why Dustin has Some of the Monkeys. Maybe, I know he's a nostalgic. He does love Disney films. He had a podcast, I think it was called Dishing Disney, where he talks Disney movies with his wife, I believe. So I understand that why he would have this. Maybe he's a completionist. I liked this movie. I would never own it. It has the same tone as something like Heavyweights or Ernest, or it's better than Tom and Huck with Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Brad Renfro. It's definitely better than Tall Tale with Nick Stahl and Patrick Swayze. That movie's sadly boring as hell. This was not a waste of time. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm surprised how fucking hard it was to find on the dark. I had to go on the dark web. It's not streaming anywhere. I don't have Disney Plus, but it's not streaming anywhere. It's not streaming on my usual places to find movies. I literally had to go on page 5 and click on it, type of thing to find it. But it wasn't a waste of time. I do recommend, if you like these type of 90s Disney films, like I said, the tone of even the Mighty Ducks. You like the Mighty Ducks, you like Heavyweights, Um, you might Tom and Huck wasn't bad, but if you like Tom and Huck, those type of like touchstone Disney films, I think you would like Summer of the Monkeys. I just wish there was more fucking monkeys. The summer they would never forget. Well, they'd probably remember. They'd really remember it if there was more fucking monkeys. So that's it. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Comment below. Tell me, what do you think? Have you heard of this movie? Have you seen it? Is it good? All that jazz. There will be a link below to the actual website of the yesterday's podcast. Go there. It's a hell of a lot of fun. The three guys have great chemistry. If they didn't, I wouldn't be listening to them still to this day. All the info for their social media will be on that website, where you can listen to them, where you can listen to past and current other podcasts that they are doing. Highly recommend listening to those three stooges. I love them to death. Even other guy. Lots of fun. But yeah, some of the monkeys. Now I finally know what they're talking about. It's might be a summer that people will never forget. Uh, it's a summer that I lived through. It was fine. So thank you for watching. Yada yada yada. Click the bell. Comment below. All that jazz. Coming up, we're still doing weird what the fuck things. By request from my friend Melissa, who will be a guest when I finally get the life situations that I'm going through right now down under control, and I could schedule interviews. She will be a guest as one of my interviews. A movie request that has been 3 years in the making. Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park. Fuck. Cheers.